First knowing who am I, then knowing why am I here. Then after that, what do I want to be? And when we talk about what we want to be, we need to understand the world and the times we live in. It matters a lot. The time and the place we live in. It is perhaps fate, karma, destiny, when we are inserted into the space-time continuum. I think many of you would have read The Romance of the Three Kingdoms about Zhuge Liang. Author said, such a pity. The most brilliant man who ever lived, but he was born in the wrong time. Liu Bei went up to the mountains 3 times to implore him to come down to help him reunify China, re-establish a Han dynasty. And Zhuge Liang knew that the times were out of joint. But he had a sense of duty, so eventually he came down. He did many things. And I think 2 movies recently about Sanguo. I think one has been shown, another be coming soon, the one by Zhang Yimou, about Cibi Zizhan, the Battle of the Red Cliff. But despite all that, he died young and he failed. And for generations after that, people reading his exploits shed tears. But strangely, his ideas have survived him. And he has been immortalized. And in many parts of China, there are temples to Zhuge Liang. What are the times we live in? This is the 21st century, and many people believe that Asia, after a long time, is finally on the rise. It is a huge, huge phenomenon. End of the Cold War, 1.3 billion Chinese, 1 billion Indians, 600 million Southeast Asians, almost half the world, if you include some of the other countries like Japan, Korea, Bangladesh, and so on the move. An ancient part of the world, which in different periods of history had led the world. Sometime in this century, Asia will again lead the world in terms of numbers, in terms of economic development, in terms of creating new breakthroughs in human affairs. It is an exciting period. I visit China every year, and I have seen how the world has changed for them. They were desperately poor in the past. Now they drive big cars, they live in big houses, they visit us and give us dinners. Not all of them, but many of them. And those of you who've been to China may see all that as unremarkable. But if you had seen the China even 10 years ago or 20 years ago, you will be amazed at the transformation. And this process is just beginning. Under Mao Zedong, 20% living in the cities. Today, 40%. Eventually, China will be like Korea or Taiwan or Japan, 80-90% living in the cities. Already, they are the biggest internet user in the world. Huge numbers of very bright, able, and energetic people joining the global marketplace, going to all the top universities, making discoveries. And not far behind from China, and that's India. It's a great tide, and a great tide which will sweep Southeast Asia along. Vietnam, and despite all the problems in Thailand, in Malaysia, and so on, I think all will be swept along eventually. Even Myanmar.